Story 1. Am I the a-hole for being frustrated with maid of honor and expecting a wedding gift from my maid of honor? Throwaway. Edit. Only our parents are invited to the private ceremony. We are very introverted and wanted to elope, but our families wanted to celebrate, so the brunch was the compromise. Thank you for the comments. I was acting entitled and was being the a-hole. I'm not going to bring this up to Arizona. I, 22, and getting married in 2 weeks to fiancé, 23. We are doing just a private ceremony and then a brunch later with our close family friends. We are paying for the brunch. The wedding party is informal and small. My maid of honor is my older sister, 25, Arizona. My bridesmaid is my college best friend Danielle, 23. Some background on bridesmaid expectations. Arizona Danielle didn't have to buy a new dress, they already had black sundresses. No need for makeup, shoes, or anything. I didn't have a bridal shower. A relative did throw me an engagement party, but only Danielle was involved in that. Arizona didn't come. This is more about Arizona. Arizona insisted on throwing me a bachelorette party. I just wanted to do a pool day, very low-key, and very inexpensive. Our parents have a small vacation house a pool, 1-hour drive from Maine, 3-hour drive from Arizona. I offered to help pay but she refused. I do make about $20,000 more than her, but she lives rent-free with our parents in a lower cost of living area. Danielle is still a grad student and has limited income. She and Danielle paid for my portion. There were 6 girls total. Cost per person was about $150, Saturday lunch, dinner, Airbnb, Sunday brunch. I ended up planning most of the events. BC Arizona was too busy, couldn't coordinate the other girls. Arizona insisted on getting an Airbnb a pool. Arizona then said that her paying for my bachelorette party. She bought some balloons/streamers and decorations, some party games, some of which Danielle already had, was my wedding gift. I didn't want balloons or decorations. Our registry is a voluntary donation to our honeymoon. While I appreciated the bachelorette party, even though it was more extravagant than what I wanted, I planned coordinated most of it, but am the a-hole for expecting to get a wedding gift from her too. Like $25 donation? My fiancé says Arizona is kinda being cheap. Redditor comments. 1. You're the a-hole. No one is owed a wedding gift. You are already in a better financial position and about to become dual income. Why are you being petty with your sister over $25? She is in grad school. You should be real with yourself. You know you don't want just $25, it would seem insulting and paltry if she couldn't even give you $50 or what is $100 when that doesn't even cover dinner on your honeymoon. What's dinner between sisters? It's your special day. 2. You're the a-hole. Have rules changed? I thought bridal party wasn't required to give a gift. What exactly are you upset about? Your loved ones are doing best they can and you don't like it? Trying to give you best possible experience and you are mad? Come on, be more thankful people even give a damn. 3. You're the a-hole. In your tally of things Arizona paid for, you leave out the $150 that was split between Mo and bridesmaid. That's $75 split evenly, plus the items you said you didn't want. Seems to me if you are only expecting $25 from Arizona, she gave you between 3-4x that amount. Also, gifts should never be expected. 4. You're the a-hole. So while weddings typically mean a gift, you've made it clear this is informal, but are unhappy when typical, formal, wedding stuff doesn't happen. You chose to plan the bachelorette party. If you wanted her to do it, then leave it to her, especially if she insisted on things. Or ask anyone else. It's kinda clear your love language is gifts. But you've also addressed this person makes less money. So you are mad someone doesn't give you $25? 5. You're the a-hole. They aren't even invited to the wedding, how can you possibly expect a gift? Just to clarify, you are not inviting anyone to see you get married, but you are having parties, engagement and bachelorette, honorific title that give people financial obligations in your mind and are also expecting gifts from people who aren't invited to your wedding. And the gift needs to be paying for your honeymoon. I'm not sure how this can look like anything other than a giant cash grab. Just save and pay for your own honeymoon. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for telling one of my brothers that he should come to our brother's wedding? One of my brothers decided to have his wedding abroad. The flight time is less than 4 hours and my brother, who I'll call Henry, has given everyone lots of notice so they can plan to come along if they want. One of our brothers, who I'll call Edward, told Henry he won't be coming. Edward is gay. In the country where Henry is going to get married, it's illegal to be gay. Also, the resort doesn't allow gay or lesbian couples to book a room together. Edward says he won't go to a county where being gay is illegal and would be uncomfortable staying at a resort that doesn't allow gay or lesbian couples. Henry and his fiancée are doing all the wedding things, ceremony, and reception abroad at the resort, so they aren't having anything here. Edward says since they don't want a reception or anything here, his plan is to buy them the nicest/most expensive thing in their registry to make up for not going. I tried to talk to Edward about it because I knew Henry was upset when Edward said he wasn't coming along. I pointed out that Edward is single, so he won't be affected by not bringing a +1, and tourists, especially when they stay in the resort like we all are, don't usually have trouble with the laws the same way locals do. And any cases in the news are minor. It's a very safe country for tourists. Edward in turn told me it's none of my business and asked why I'm interfering. Was I out of line, because Edward is angry with me at the moment? All of our brothers and sisters and family are going except Edward. I know Henry was hurt, so I brought it up to Edward. That was the only reason. Henry was upset and this was a once-in-a-lifetime day for him. Was I the one who was out of line for trying to talk to Edward and convince him to come along? Since I know it will be asked, the wedding is in Morocco. Redditor comments. 1. You're the a-hole. He doesn't want to go to a place where it is illegal for him to be the person he is, and where he has no protection from discrimination and harassment. It is easy for you to say that tourists don't usually have trouble with the laws, but you aren't the one who would be unsafe. If Henry really wanted Edward at his wedding, he should have chosen a different destination. 2. Huge, you're the a-hole. You and the brother getting married both have grown up with a brother who is gay. You should have some understanding of the challenges he faces. For you to gloss over the risk he would be taking shows a massive lack of empathy. For your brother to be hurt that a family member, one who faces imprisonment just for being himself, won't go to the wedding is beyond insensitive. He isn't the one who has a right to be hurt. He's making the choice of exclusionary location. Your brother is willing to buy him an expensive gift to show no hard feelings. That's a better person than me. I'd have just not gone. If I'm not welcome, nor is my gift. Your family are choosing to attend an family event where one of the family will be in danger by going. That's exclusionary for someone who already faces exclusion on a daily basis. This from those who are supposed to love him. Especially in today's increasingly right-leaning political climate. I can't say it often enough. You're the a-hole. 3. You're the a-hole. You clearly don't know how it feels to be told you are illegal for who you love. Even in this country, the anti-gay backlash can make it dangerous to be out. Listen to what your brother is saying about how he feels instead of telling him he's wrong and he should suck it up. That's not supportive. Also, this is between Edward and Henry. Just stay out of it. 4. You're the a-hole and Henry is too. Edward is being very civil considering that his brothers are inviting and/or pushing him to go to some place where he is explicitly not welcome, to the extent that it is not legal for him to be who he is. Both are downplaying Edward's objections, which is extra obnoxious. 5. You're the a-hole because his safety is more important and the poor bloke now doesn't think his brothers care about him. I don't know what country you're traveling to, but maybe he doesn't want to run the risk of 500 lashings. Or being stoned. Or being beaten to a pulp. Just because he isn't holding hands with another man there doesn't mean there isn't a risk. Edit, just read Morocco. So years imprisoned or execution. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for having a micro-wedding instead of our original wedding? My husband, 22M, and I, 21F, had plans to get married May 13, 2023. Christmas 2022. My mom and I talked about how we should wait another year because my parents couldn't afford the wedding we had planned this year but could pay for it in 2024. In March 2023, we decided to call the venue and ask if we could push it back a year to June 1, 2024. They said we could, and so we did. We told everyone that plans had changed, some knew before, and everyone, 60 people we intended to invite, was happy and fine. May 18, 2023. We talked when my husband came home from work about how we couldn't wait anymore and we should have a courthouse ceremony. We paid for the license and we asked our 2 witnesses if they could attend. Now this was going to be a secret between us and the witnesses, which were two of our best friends. We wouldn't have told anyone if we didn't have to have two witnesses. No one else knew about this, and that's exactly what we wanted. I ended up telling my mom I needed my birth certificate, and she wanted to help plan a micro-wedding. Everyone was happy. It was my immediate family, parents, two sisters, and my great-grandma who I am very close with. Some of my husband's family came as well. We invited our 3 friends, 2 witnesses, 1 close friend, and that was it. It was under 20 people, and the wedding was planned in 2 weeks. Somehow, some extended family found out, so my mom wanted me to tell my grandpa, grandma, aunt, and uncle. My uncle was fine with it and so was my aunt. My mom's divorced parents were upset. We had a brunch the day after the wedding for everyone to come and celebrate and only my uncle came. My aunt lives too far but wanted to be there. My grandpa said he would after the initial upset was over with. But he didn't. He told my great-grandma it was because he wanted us to wait until I graduated. I'm not sure how true this is but it still hurt he didn't show up. My grandma was very excited earlier on the wedding day, but later that day told my mom some things, but essentially it was her saying she was hurt she wasn't invited to my wedding, and she won't talk to my mom for a while. No one has talked to me or my husband about any of this, they only talked to my mom and I feel I may be the a-hole because I hurt my mom's relationships with her parents. Are we the a-holes for having a micro-wedding and not the original wedding we planned? Redditor comments. 1. Kinda you're the a-hole. You had 3 wedding dates over 2 years. Greatly reduced guest list but still expected anyone besides the 20 people to not be offended. 4th date was a brunch and expected people to come to that last minute as well. You kind of jerked people around with all this lack of organization. Typically, when a couple slashes a guest list and goes way simpler and less expensive, it results in less stress and more organization. I hope it was a beautiful weekend, but damn, I was getting whiplash. 2. You're the a-hole. You lied to a bunch of people about the wedding being in June, then purposely did something else in a sneaky way because you didn't actually want them there. What do you expect? You should have just been honest and told everyone the larger event was cancelled and did what you wanted. 3. Not the a-hole and anyone who says otherwise is an idiot. It's your wedding, not theirs. Since getting married, I've come to the realization that weddings tend to be a scam. I'm not talking about marriage itself but the overpriced venue, decorations, etc. The same venue might be rented out for a few $100s for a few hours but if it's for a wedding they'll slap on all these extra fees. For example, there was this one venue my wife and I loved and their website listed 4 hours for about $1,000. We reached out and let them know that it would be for our wedding and suddenly that grand skyrocketed to well over $6,000, if not more, I don't remember exactly. Anyway, it's your wedding and your marriage. It should start off how you both want it to start. Plus you can always have a ceremony down the road and invite people then. But no one is entitled to what they want. Not your mom, uncle, or grandpa. I'm glad you have some support from family. Also family can be toxic so it's okay to cut people off as people with throw their insecurities at your face. 4. Not the a-hole. I sort of like the fact that you decided not to wait for a big event wedding and just got married without all the hoopla. Your family need to get over themselves. You could have eloped and none of them would have even known. There will be times in your life when some people will object to your decisions. Hopefully they'll get over it. I bet your parents were relieved they didn't have that big expense to worry about too. Weddings these days are an outrageous expense for a couple just starting out. You're much better off putting the money into a house, or your parents using it for their own mortgage or retirement. 5. Not the a-hole. It's your wedding, you don't have any obligations to your mother's parents anyone else, really. On the other hand, if you have a close relationship with your grandparents it's normal that they would perhaps be hurt that they didn't get to attend the wedding. If your grandparents are being a-holes to your mom, that's completely on them.